Hi, I'm Sam Nordberg. Welcome to 52 Books in 52 Weeks, and we're up to book 53, what I was listening to. Again, I had the audio, A Thousand Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. So A Thousand Pieces of You is the first book in a trilogy which looks at people who are crossing between dimensions, who are traveling between dimensions into their other bodies to solve a problem. So what happens is the lead character, her father and her mother, have recently found out how they can move their energy into different dimensions. Not necessarily a physical corporeal body, but the energy inside it, and transfer it into themselves in a parallel universe. They can only travel to somewhere where themselves already exists. They can't miraculously appear. But then what happens is her father is murdered, and she has to go on this rampage between parallel universes to find the guy who was responsible, to chase down the truth. So there's a lot of jumping backwards and forwards. Now, in this one, what I really liked is the lead character obviously begins to find herself along the way, but she's not delicate at any point. She's incredibly strong. She knows what she's doing. She stands up for herself, and she makes a really big impact in the world of a lot of people. What I really like as well is that she does the right thing. So in a lot of situations, she makes a decision which might not have been the best for her, but was the best for the situation at the time. I kind of like books like that, especially because I've started to share stories with my children who are getting a bit older, my daughter who's 6 and my son who's 8. When I have a book, sometimes I'll read chapters of it to them, or sometimes, especially with some of the books I get out of the library, I'll read whole chapters or whole parts to them. So I kind of like a book to actually be a good story for them to listen to, not something where someone's going off and screwing around and whatever else. Again, got a romance theme to it, got this parallel dimension, saving the world kind of a theme to it, which is something I seem to have fallen into for the moment, although the next couple of books I'm going to review for you aren't the same, they're a little bit different. But I do like the way that she does this. The story is well written. Again, I found myself getting caught up. I also found myself not knowing what was happening until just before it was about to happen, and then screaming at the radio as I was driving in the car because you could just see what was just about to happen, but you had only just worked it out too. And I enjoyed that. So unlike the last couple I've listened to where, you'd picked the twist or turn half a book before it happened. And this one, it was normally like, half a chapter before it happened. You could just suddenly see where it was building to, even though you hadn't been able to see that before. And so suddenly you're like, oh my God, it's him. Seriously, like, don't do that. It's him, it's him. And again, I found myself sort of yelling out loud, no one should ever travel in the car with me while I'm listening to an audiobook. Having said which, the kids were in the car with me a couple of times while I was listening to the audiobook. I've never known a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old to sit so quietly in a car and listen so intently as when we were listening to this by Claudia Gray. So that's a good sign as well. The story was engaging for them. And when I turned the engine off in the video and the story stopped, they had lots of questions like, why did she do that and what's going on, and that sort of thing, which is really good to hear. That's it for now. In the next couple of videos, I'm back to paperbacks. I'll show the stories that I'm reading. And as always, I will see you in the next video.